firstly, again, I just want to emphasize that India is doing extremely well in terms of its growth rate. At 7%, it is the fastest growing major economy in the world. And being able to keep that up, which is what we expect it will do, 6.5%, I mean, that is a large accomplishment. Now, 2047 is a very long ways out. I think we can look at some intermediate targets along the way. We expect by 2027, India could be the third largest economy in the world based on our growth projections.
27, not 28 or 29.
Based on our current projections, 2027 is when we expect that could happen. But what happens all the way in another, several more years later? Of course, that's a long run. Now we have to keep in mind that most middle-income countries have not graduated into advanced economy status, the so-called middle-income trap, where that doesn't happen. But it's the countries that keep up with persistent structural reforms on multiple fronts and graduating not just from at some point where it is more of using techniques that exist to moving to being more innovation-driven economies, making that transition happen it takes all of that to get to being an advanced economy. There are small exceptions like South Korea and Singapore that have accomplished that. India can certainly, work towards that goal, but it's going to require a huge movement on multiple fronts.
One of the big challenges with India's economic growth is the specter of growing income inequality. The fact that the rich are getting richer, the poor are getting poorer. How do you think the Indian state and the Indian government should really be trying to tackle that challenge?
Firstly, I mean, growth in India has helped a very large spectrum of people in India. I mean, poverty rates over the last decade have come down by a whole lot. So it has lifted a large number of people in the country. Now, there is the question of the different levels of growth that you're seeing in their incomes, and frankly, better data would help in that front. We've been looking at it. It's hard to pin a story over there. What we do see is unevenness. There are some parts doing better than the others. The higher income, urban do better, rural doing not as well. And so, that is an area where certainly more attention can be given, and the government is doing that, and we saw that in the budget measures too that have been taken. But again, how do you bring that around? I think there is the same set of factors I explained to you before, which is in terms of the near term versus the longer term, right? In terms of the longer term, better human capital, better skill match with the kinds of jobs that are going to be created for the future. That's going to be absolutely critical. Raising productivity in agriculture so that the workers move out of agriculture into the newer sectors is going to be absolutely important. So these kinds of broad-based reforms will be critical.
BizTak आपके लिए लाया है प्रीमियम मेंबरशिप प्रोग्राम, जहां आपको मिलेंगे कई सारे फायदे, जिनमें मार्केट न्यूज़लेटर, लाइव चैट पर आपके सवालों के सबसे पहले जवाब, मार्केट आउटलुक, वीकेंड पर मार्केट स्कैन, एंकर्स के साथ चैट और भी बहुत कुछ। इस प्रीमियम सब्सक्रिप्शन में 3 तरह के प्लान्स हैं, सिल्वर, गोल्ड और प्लैटिनम, जिनकी शुरुआत मात्र 159 रुपए महीने से होती है। इससे जुड़ना भी बेहद आसान है। BizTak के YouTube चैनल पर जाएं, ज्वाइन बटन पर क्लिक करें और अपना प्लान सिलेक्ट करें। बस बन गए आप हमारे प्रीमियम मेंबर।